Hello, welcome to the Ascot Review. I'm Julio Santarelli and I'm once again joined by the Sports Daily's Digby Beacham. Digby, how are you?
Jules, well, yourself?
Very well, thank you. You survived the dark and gloomy conditions of Belmont at Ascot yesterday?
Well, I was actually inside. You were out there. It was a little bit bleak.
Very dark, and at one stage I thought we might be in trouble in getting through the meeting, but we survived, we got through. Not so much the rain, it was just the lightning and the dark clouds looked threatening, but we got through, and I think there was some bright news to come out of the meeting.
Agree, Jules, and I think the winner in the first Champagne Diva is one that we need to touch on. Obviously, we'll look through all 7 races, but this filly was good on a Saturday at her most recent start, and she probably was going to run second in that race, over 1,000. She just peaked late, but there yesterday from barrier 1, Jade McNaught fired her out of the gate. She cornered, turned for home, gave a kick, and as we know, by day's end, that was the spot to be, wasn't it? So she held on to win by a length from smashing this debutante out of the Neville Parnham yard. The full little sister to Lord Help Me Run. She ran well, but all credit to Champagne Diva.
Set the tone of the day leading for Jade McNaught and set up the first leg of a double for Luke Fernie. Smashing start of the favourite, but just lacked a bit of gate speed, and the way the pattern panned out yesterday, that was her race.
It was, but you would think as the distances increase, Smashing will be better suited. It was a nice start.
Race number 2 of the program at Ascot yesterday was the De Sonia handicap. Don't want to preempt anything, Diggers, but I think this may have been the win of the day.
Yeah, this was a really good win, and you're talking of Talladega. So, Sebring gelding out of Impressive Journey, who we know that Darren McAuliffe had a lot of success with. She was a good filly, trained on, and this fellow went to Narrogin on debut and won well, and you're just trying to marry up that form to town form. He went to town there yesterday against some pretty handy types, sat off the speed. Not many horses there yesterday sat worse than midfield and won. He did. He's a horse to follow for sure, Jules.
I think that was the most impressive part of Talladega's win. He was the only runner to make any ground yesterday on a day that was dominated by the on-pace runners.
He's bred to be a proper horse, and I think he may well be that.
Race number 3 of the program was the Seacall handicap. And again, repeating the pattern of the day, Niconian jumped and run and led, and in the end won well from Orange Strudel, who ran an improved run, and also Guestine.
He was just too strong, the Niconian, and you only have to look 2 starts ago. He was in 66 grade. 3 starts ago, 72. Ran in the Juicemouth Silver down there, the Silver Bowl down there at Pinjarra, and led on that occasion and wasn't probably suited, being hard up on the rail. Back there yesterday, the rail to be was the spot. Obviously, you needed to be at the front of the field, tick, tick, got there, ran them along, and basically just showed sustained speed. It was a really good placement of the horse with the claim for Neville, with Lucky Ramilly, and he just gave them a galloping lesson, as you'd expect a horse of his calibre to do in this grade, class 5,000 metres. He was the horse who went into that race. You thought he'd be hard to beat. He duly was.
Second leg of a double for Jade McNaught was on He's a Gunslinger, race 4 of the program, the Mrs. Max Handicap. And anyone who was listening to your program on Wednesday morning with Martin Allen, he was very, very confident that He's a Gunslinger could produce a good run.
Yeah, he probably didn't get the trip of the 1,705 metres back there at Bunbury on the 15th of January. Now, Burning Pride won that race and then has since gone on and raced really well. Freshened up, shades on, back to 1,200 metres, found the spot, which was the top, and there I thought Jade McNaught rated him really well, and he didn't invite any pressure, the horse himself, because he was allowed to roll along, and he was strong late, as he was always going to be at the end of 1,200. You could argue 1,400 is his sweet spot, but it was a good win. The horse has got some ability, we know that. The blinkers had an impact as well, and he was just too strong. Truly great. Was a nice run, I think, Jules.
Terrific. Been out of the scene, off the scene for a long, long time. But a terrific effort. Rewrite the stars, disappointing?
Yeah, there was no abnormalities. Bar shoes were off. Did get crossed. 3 back the fence. Was a little bit slow to muster, but she was gone a long way from home. So there may well be a reason. I think that Darren McAuliffe will no doubt have a close examination of her, but she was on face value a little bit disappointing, yes.
Continuing a good day for Martin Allen was the 5th, the Byron Bay Premium Lager Handicap, and time to sizzle. At the 200 metres, you thought, how far? By the post, you thought, lucky.
Yeah.
She just fell in.
She fell in, didn't she? 1,000's her go. And she was asked to hightail over 1,100 there by Chris Parnham yesterday. And I liked the ride, though. It was no use Chris getting there and stacking them up and taking away a greatest asset. He was effectively handlebars down, controlled handlebars down was Chris, let's say, and she wanted to paddle late, as I think we all thought, oh, maybe the 1100 on rain-affected ground as well. So she did a good job. So she only won by a nose from Baby Blues, who was good. First up, it must be said. Snippy Nis was okay. She was a little bit slow away, tracked up into the race, made ground, but she's one of those horses who continually finds one a little bit better, doesn't she, Snippy Miss? Exactly,
and it's a great story too, Tom. It will only cost $500 and has certainly repaid Martin Allen and her group of owners. But a terrific win there yesterday from Time to Sizzle. And to be fair, it was her first run in about a month's time, in a month. Between runs, and so yeah, it was good effort by Time to Sizzle.
She's got some issues, but she has a motor.
Exactly. Zeeble racing first up this preparation for Luke Fernie, the second leg of a double. Really great news for Kate Southam too. One of the highlights to come out of yesterday's meeting.
Yeah, great story for Kate. She's back on the comeback trail from that knee reconstruction that she had, and to be able to pilot home a winner 6 months after having surgery is a really significant feather in her cap. And this was her first Metropolitan winner, and she had a smile that could have split a watermelon, didn't she, after the race when she came back to scale. So congratulations to Luke Fernie, congratulations to Kate Southam. And Zeebel's a nice horse. We know he's high speed. We talk about Time to Sizzle being a very quick horse. So's this fellow, and he dropped back in grade. It was a good use of the claim from Luke, and he was duly rewarded. It was a good win.
He ran some great races last preparation against some cracking 3-year-olds, so he does have a bit of ability, does Zeeble?
He does indeed, and I was interested to hear that Luke, bought him on an online auction, and he's a horse, with good placement and good claims. There's no reason he's not going to win more races than the one that he won there yesterday, Jules.
Keeping a good day for Jade McNaught was in the last with Callis Callisto over Zachariah Bow and King Blitz, who just really runs some... Does it tough.
Yeah, he does.
That was his second run since an injury layoff, and they were the placings. Callis Callisto for Adam Durant, Zachariah Bow and King Blitz there. They were winning margin 3/4 of a length.
Good win this, I thought, Jules, because they did go along a bit, and Callis Callisto was having his first run in over a month, and you thought, maybe at the end of a mile on rain-affected ground he could be found wanting, but he got to the line okay. Zachariah Bow had been well found by some good judges. I know Brett Lenton was on him. I know that Scotty Embry was really keen, and he was duly supported. He ran a good race. He just keeps finding one a little bit better, but against the pattern, Zachariah Bow was very good, but full credit to Callis Callisto in the third leg of a treble for Jade McNaught.
We would very Newham go with King Blitz, as I mentioned, second up from a long injury break, stepping up from 12 to 1,600 metres. He's always had a good opinion of King Blitz and over a distance. What sort of race would Barry have in mind for King Blitz?
He may well. Look, Barry, would he aim him up at a Gero Cup?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, look, he was second up 12 to 16. He raced wide throughout there yesterday and didn't have any quit in him. He kept finding and kept trying very hard to get to the line. So maybe he has another run and then he aims him up at a Gero Cup. He'd get in on the minimum, and who knows, on his home track he might be hard to beat.
Highlights out of yesterday's meeting, I think Talladega, definitely highlight. Luke Fernie, a double. Jade McNaught, a treble. And also Kate Southam, her first win, her first Metropolitan win, also her first win from an injury layoff. Any other highlights in your mind?
I think you've covered it really well there, Jules. I think Talladega is the horse that I want to follow out of that race. He's bred to be a good horse, and he's shown in his 2 runs to date that he is above average ability. So I'm happy to be with Talladega.
Diggers, thanks for your time. That's
Pleasure.
the Ascot Review from Wednesday, February the 26th. Thanks for your company. Catch you again next week.